got tased, I just hollered, and I guess I fell to the floor.
A 70-year-old grandma says she felt bullied in her own home when she was tased and arrested, all for not allowing deputies inside to find her grandson. 8 on your side's Ryan Hughes is reporting from our Manatee County Bureau tonight. He's joining us live from the sheriff's office. Ryan, I'm sure she was glad to tell them not to come in, but then they did not like that, and obviously we see what happened.
Exactly. Good evening to you. So the sheriff tells us that she should have let those deputies inside the other day. Meantime, a Bay Area attorney is saying, not so fast. This is what happened when Manatee County deputies showed up to arrest Barbara Pinkney's grandson on a violation of probation warrant. She's the one who wound up tased, in trouble, and in handcuffs.
Do you think they went too far?
Yeah, they went too far. I believe they did.
Sheriff Rick Wells said deputies were in their right to go inside since they were looking for Tevin Turner, the woman's grandson, who lived inside the same Manatee County home. And you have complete faith that your deputies did everything by the book?
There's nothing that I've seen up to this point that would make me believe that they did anything wrong.
The sheriff's office is investigating the arrest, and the deputy who pulled the taser trigger is on desk duty during that investigation. 8 on your side spoke to attorney Bryant Camerino, who's not affiliated with the case. He thinks deputies should have coupled the arrest warrant with a search warrant and indicated they had no important reason to enter right away, like risk of danger or hot pursuit, so getting inside could have waited. Pinkney seems to agree.
Hard to sleep. I can't hardly sleep at night. Just thinking about it. Can't hardly sleep.
And the woman's friends and family plan to hold a rally for her tomorrow at 5:30 outside her Manatee County home. Reporting live tonight in Manatee County, I'm Ryan Hughes, 8 on your side.
Here's a photograph of the 70-year-old woman that the Bradenton Police Department decided they had to taser her 3 times. They held the taser up against her skin instead of shooting the probes at her twice. But I'll play the video. It's not a very good video, but it shows how they are.
Sir, please. Sir. Hey, come up. Watch out. Can you just go in there, bro? I'm trying not to get tased and shot at me. Please. 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 Sir, get it, baby. Get it, baby. Please.
My wall here's the dog barking.
Sorry. Dog. Dog, what the fuck, dog? Dog, he on Barbara. Dog, he's on Barbara.
Stay out of there.
Bruh.
Stay out of there.
Bruh.
Stay out of there.
Bruh.
Stay out of there.
Look at that stomach.
Sorry, hold please. Sorry, he on Barbara. Dog, he's on Barbara.
Stay out of there.
Bruh.
Stay out of there. Stay out of there.
Look at that stomach.
Sorry, hold please. Sorry, please.
You see the stomach on that guy? That's a 70-year-old woman you heard screaming. That's them taking her out of there. How dare she ask them for a search warrant? They said they had a right to be there because his probation listed that address and he had a warrant out for him. He wasn't there, so they took his grandma instead because she didn't want him to come in the house. She told him he didn't live here. They didn't care. It was the 70-year-old lady's birthday, the day after Christmas. Bradenton, Florida police come to the house. And this story came out of the, I think, Bradenton Herald. But if you notice how they write it, this woman had to be hit with the taser 3 times. Had to be hit. All them cops could not handle a 70-year-old grandmother. She had to be hit. Now, this is the one way lamestream media writes it, to try to make people think, well, they had to do it. They had no choice. She had to be hit. Okay, now let's look at another news story. This newspaper just puts it plain and simple, doesn't try to direct your thought. Florida woman tased by police 3 times in her own home on her 70th birthday. Now, you seen that cop's stomach. You seen how big he was. You don't think he could handle this 70-year-old grandma? They tased this lady 3 times. They held the taser up against her skin and physically hurt her. And this article says it a little better than the other one. The other one was more lamestream media than this one. But it said it all happened morning, day after Christmas. They came knocking on the door. And she says there actually wasn't a knock. She thought they kicked the door in. It was like bam, bam at the door or whatever. But the Manatee County Sheriff's Office said they were there to serve an arrest warrant for this guy. And it was the grandson of this lady. He was wanted for carrying a weapon, whatever. And she said the grandson didn't live there. And they said they were coming in without a search warrant. But the story goes on. It's long forever. But they said they warned her she'd be arrested. And she began to resist because she thought they needed a warrant. And she was standing up for her rights. But they tased the woman 3 times, including twice using a stun gun directly against her body rather than firing probes. One of the officers then used his knee to hold the 70-year-old grandma to the ground. The confrontation was filmed by the granddaughter. She still has bruises on her body, and she was arrested. Had to put up like $1,000 bond. But that's how people are treated now in this day and age. For the officer's safety and all, you know.